a Catholic mystic. This woman predicted 9/11, and apparently this Catholic mystic once said of Venezuela, "It will start here." Nicolas Maduro. We've been trying to oust him for how long now? How long has the CIA been trying to prod that guy out of, going back multiple presidential administrations. Now, especially that President Trump is turning his attention away from the Middle East toward the Western Hemisphere, where we've asserted dominance for over 200 years now. Trump is zapping the drug boats, and he's building up the military off the coast, and he's reportedly just calling Maduro and saying, "Hey, we'll let you out if you leave now, but I can't guarantee your safety afterward." And he's now seizing a Venezuelan oil ship. Maduro says he's going to break America's teeth. Trump's response is kind of funny. According to the reporting, he says, "I assume we keep the oil." Do we finally get the oil? This is always Trump's great criticism of the Iraq War. I loved it so much. His criticism of the Iraq War was not some left-wing criticism. Islam's a religion of peace. We can't, the precious Ba'ath Party, we can't, it wasn't that. And it wasn't even a nationalist kind of opposition. It wasn't saying, we need to stick within our own borders. We can't ever have interests around the world. His opposition to the Iraq War was, we didn't even get the oil. The libs said, no war for oil, no war for oil. My problem is, we didn't have a war for oil. No war for oil? I thought this was a war for oil. Hold on. Wait. You guys sold this to me in a terrible way. So, Trump's reportedly, this is according to The Sun, he says, "I assume we keep the oil. $70 million on board." So what does that mean for Venezuela to kick us in the teeth? It's Venezuela. Who cares? They are allies of our geopolitical adversaries, Russia, Iran, China. I love that Trump's playing tough. He's not getting in the muck with. I don't like it when people get in the muck. Everyone loves to get in the muck. They love to get in the muck and be gossipy, little reviling detractors, and they just love to try to. But why would Trump do that? He's going to go get. Fidel Castro benefited from this. When the United States would really go after Castro in an over-the-top way, Castro loved it because it built up his profile. I think that's what Maduro wants here. Trump says, "Nah, who cares? Who's he? What? Nada. He is nada. We are going to keep the oil. Comprende?" He says he's going to give the U.S. a real beating. He says, "In times like these, we must be like warriors." This is Maduro, with both eyes peeled, working, producing, building, keeping the country functioning, and be prepared to kick in the teeth the North American empire if necessary. Okay. Trump, too, he was asked for why this operation happened. He said, quote, "It was seized for a very good reason." What happens to the oil? We keep it, I guess. Okay. I'm fine with this. I don't lose sleep at night over the United States asserting influence, especially anywhere really, but especially within our traditional sphere of influence and within the Western Hemisphere. However, we don't want to just rush into war, and we don't want to be led blindly into war, because wars can spin out of control. Go to preborn.com/Knowles. This Christmas season, you could change a life. You could actually change two lives. You picture a young woman who just found out she's pregnant, was not expecting it. She's scared. Maybe she doesn't have much support. She's not sure what her options are. That is exactly who our sponsor, Preborn Ministries, is there for. They offer free ultrasounds and counseling to women facing these tough decisions. Sometimes just seeing that ultrasound and talking to someone who cares makes all the difference. If you're looking for a meaningful way to give this year, this might be worth considering. Steve Jobs, Celine Dion, Steph Curry, all unplanned pregnancies. Maybe you were too. Maybe someone you love was. Life has a way of working out differently than we expect. When a woman is facing that difficult decision, Preborn is there to help. When a woman sees her baby's ultrasound at Preborn, everything can change. It doubles the baby's chance at life. That moment often gives her the courage to choose life. This Christmas, $28 can sponsor an ultrasound. Right now, your gift is doubled through a matching grant. To donate, dial pound 250, say keyword baby, or you go to preborn.com/Knowles. It's pound 250, keyword baby, or you go to preborn.com/Knowles. This is an organization that I personally support. I encourage you to give what you can, and you get a great tax deduction for it. Preborn.com/Knowles. There's a Catholic mystic. Bear with me. I know there are people who don't believe in mystics, period. There are people who aren't Catholic or aren't Christian, or just bear with me. There's this woman, Maria Esperanza de Bianchini. She was Venezuelan. She died about 21 years ago. She's a servant of God. the canonization process includes all these steps: servant of God, venerable, blessed, and then finally you're canonized a saint. Now, basically, a saint is just anyone who's in heaven. Your grandma might be a saint, but the canonization process formally recognizes, with the keys of St. Peter, with the power to loosen, to bind, with the authority divinely instituted, we believe, to say this person is definitively in heaven. And she's in that process, this woman. This woman predicted 9/11. Maria Esperanza de Bianchini prophesied 9/11 in 1992, I think it was, so before the attacks of 1993, said that she saw 2 buildings with smoke, black smoke pouring out. So that was interesting. Not only was it before the attack in 2001, it was before the attack in 1993. Then apparently prophesied it again in 2000, and then yet again in August 2001. This is a woman who had mystical visions of Mary, of Our Lady. Catholics are not required to believe this, but to believe private revelation, but many people do. And apparently, this Catholic mystic once said, of Venezuela, it will start here. What is it? What is it? What is it, though? She didn't say World War III will start here. She didn't say, she just was discussing calamities with global implications and said, it will start here in Venezuela. And what I find so arresting about that, let's say for a second you're not Catholic. Let's say you're not Christian. Let's say you're not religious in any way. Let's say you don't believe in mystics. Let's say you think that's all woo-woo claptrap and you're a real hardened materialist, realist, and you just stick with the empirical facts. Okay. Do wars ever start in unpredictable ways? Like, for instance, if a Serbian nationalist were to murder an archduke and the child of an imperial leader, could you ever imagine that that would start the World War that would fundamentally change the civilization? You probably wouldn't predict that. You wouldn't say that because an automobile made a wrong turn down a street, a Serbian nationalist would kill an archduke and a Habsburg archduke, and that would fundamentally reorder the entire world and lead not only to one other, but actually 2 other global wars, because it would lead immediately to the Second World War and then to the Cold War, all of which are basically the same struggle. No, you wouldn't predict that. World wars have started for less than what's going on in Venezuela. And don't forget, what's going on in Venezuela is not just about, some 2-bit dictator trying to hold on to oil. There are Chinese interests there, Russian interests there, Iranian interests there. It's kind of like the war in Ukraine. It's kind of like the war in Israel-Gaza. There are a lot of interests intersecting. I would not be, and this is, look, this is an admonition as much for me as it is for anyone else. We should not be so cavalier. We should not be so cavalier about the war in Venezuela. Not saying we don't intervene, but we should not be cavalier. Okay. I enjoyed that clip. I enjoyed bringing it to you, and I think you enjoyed receiving it from me. And if that's true, then what I am asking humbly and modestly is that you like and subscribe so that you'll get more of them. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I think it's appropriate. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.